Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Dussault, and I'm here with Peter August, Managing Director of Australian Bullion Company, Melbourne. And what we wanted to do today is just explain to you when you have some old jewelry, and in this case here it's gold, and you want to trade it in because you know that the gold price is high and you're basically not going to wear this anymore. One of the questions that people have is, how do I know I'm not going to get ripped off? And how do they actually know what the percentage of gold is? Because if you look at all this, there are different pieces from different eras, from different pieces of jewelry, and some of them are broken, and some of them are, you know, in their entirety, like a ring, for example, or an earring. So what do you do with this? So why don't I hand this over to Peter?
Yes, sir.
Now, once you have this, you take this, and what do you do with it?
Okay, we'll test one piece at a time. So I'll get this necklace over here, and I'll just put it into this little section here. Now, you can't see it properly there, but I'll just show it over to you. There's a little window. There's a little window
Right there.
And that window is where you put the gold over. Okay, so once we do that, we put the gold over, we close the top of this chamber.
Now, this is a sophisticated machine
Absolutely.
called Zappy. Okay, so
Well, the staff decided we have several of these machines, so they decided to name them. And
yeah, so each machine has a different name.
Yes.
Now, I say that because that's kind of funny, but this technology is actually space-age technology, isn't it?
Absolutely. This technology was created by NASA to take on the Pathfinder mission to Mars. So that little Mars rover that goes around the surface of Mars has a similar version of this machine attached to it, and it zaps the rocks to tell what are the constituents of those rocks.
Excellent. So if we in fact zap this,
Absolutely. So what I'll do is I'll press the button, and on the screen at the front you'll see a reading. I'll turn this around here, and you'll see on the reading it says AG 13.6%, AU 73.67%. So what that's telling it, it's got other metals as well.
so what other metals does it have?
ZN for zinc,
Zinc.
Cu for copper.
Copper.
Okay, so the predominant constituent of this is AU, which is gold.
So it's 73.67% gold.
Correct, which
And
is close
And
enough.
AG is?
Silver.
It's silver, so 13.6% silver.
That's correct. Okay, so we can tell immediately what the constituent of that necklace is.
Excellent.
And that's-
Can we do another one just to see what?
Absolutely.
Now this is from the same person, so that's the necklace.
Okay, so I'll take an earring. So we've got
Yeah.
a little earring here. I'll put that over the window, close the chamber, press the trigger. I will count to about 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5. And then we can see, again, this one here, 13.9% silver, 74.71% gold, 10.1% copper.
Now is that regular or is that standard for this kind of jewelry?
Well, I mean, you'll get for 18 carat jewelry, you will get a range. Interestingly,
Would this be 18 karat?
that would be considered as 18 carat.
Okay.
Technically speaking, 18 carat is 75%. But I've yet to see any 18 carat which is made, or very rarely does it actually make 75%. It's always slightly under.
So what would it be? 73, 72,
We have
74?
it ranging between 72 and 75. Anything below 72%, it's really counted as 17 carat. Okay, so the range for a 75 is 72 to say 76 or 77%.
Okay. So for each piece, literally you put them in. Now I noticed that like this is a ring, for example, and you might not be able to see it on the YouTube video, but the actual gem, or in this case if it was a diamond, it's actually taken out.
That's correct.
So that's important that you actually take out the gemstones.
Yes.
Can we just do this one and maybe, how about these two, just to see how different these two would be?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just so that you can see the variation, and these are all from the same person.
So we'll
We'll do this one.
the gold ring first. We'll press the trigger.
So the reason I'm doing this for you is so that you can see that there's space-age technology to make absolutely sure.
Well, here's a rarity.
Oh, here we
We've
go.
actually got AU at 76.9%.
Yeah, and silver.
And silver at 13.49 and copper
Copper.
at 8.51.
So this one is slightly above.
Slightly above.
Slightly above.
So he was an honest jeweler, this jeweler that made this piece.
Absolutely.
Very honest.
So that's the ring. And then we have another ring.
We had another ring here.
Okay, again from the same person.
I'll just do it sideways
Sure.
this time. Press the trigger.
So depending on the pieces that you have within your collection, and the ones that obviously you don't want to wear anymore,
now this one
you're
here
going to get a different...
is 71.55%. So that means it was slightly less than 18 carat, about 3.5% less than 18 carat. So that means that it was not quite right at the time it was made.
Now that's not the point of this exercise, is of feeling bad that you paid for 18 karat but didn't get it, because the reality is when you actually bought this ring in the first place, or when someone gave it to you as a gift, you actually had it for reasons other than just the gold content.
Correct. And the gold content in the price when you paid for it originally was only a small proportion of the price.
Correct.
Because the ring, the actual diamond that would have gone with this ring would have been the majority of the cost.
Correct. The other thing though is that you'd also be buying the design value. In other words, the mounting, the quality of the mount, the actual design of this ring versus this one, which is quite different and quite dramatic in the quality of the setting and the ornateness, if you will, of the setting. When we look at selling gold and silver for recycling purposes and cashing in on the high value of the commodity, it becomes a completely different equation. And regardless of what you paid for it, what it's worth today, the only way that you can actually assess it is using this kind of technology. It's not just on a scale where someone's guessing that yes, it is 18 karat, because between this one and this one, there's about 4% difference.
Correct.
So you can rest assured when you deal with the Australian Bullion Company that they're using space-age technology to make absolutely sure that regardless of what you have, whatever its origins, whether it's a bracelet, a brooch, an earring, or a ring, that whatever it is, item by item, it'll be analyzed, and you'll get the fair price based on the content of the materials, of the actual
jewelry, whatever it might
but what do you call it? The actual elements that make up that jewelry. So that's why you want to deal with a reputable company, and when people bring this in, you actually pay them cash, don't you?
Absolutely. Look, we pride ourselves on paying the right price for the gold that we're buying. We make sure that the people understand the technology that we're using. We show them right in front of them how we test their jewelry, and then we pay them on the spot.
And all you have to do is literally come in with your jewelry in a bag like this, have it analyzed, and if you're happy with the assessment that's given to you, you basically leave this behind and leave with cash in hand.
That's correct. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for listening.